Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So recently I've been hearing a lot about I don't like to say the word black, but we're gonna use it. I just hate to say black and white, but so-called black Scottish people, right? They've been trending on TikTok. So we're gonna go ahead and just hop right into it and figure out like why are black Scottish people trending on TikTok. With that being said, what's smoking on my dragons, divine righteous, almighty greats, overachieving, never slacking. And we're gonna go ahead and hop right into it. Here we go. Let's figure this out. Why is this trending?
What's happening, TikTok? How are we? Listen, I came out here like I wanted to grab a quick coffee. Excuse me, I'm making a video, bro.
I'm making a video.
Yo, look what I
Comedy,
found.
bruv. Is
Look
that a
who I
Scottish
found.
word or is that British?
Comedy, bro.
Bruv, not bruv.
Bruv.
You got it. Hey, hello.
We're trying to record over here.
White people waving.
What's happening, TikTok?
I can see why it's trending because as Americans, we are not used to that at all.
The Americans discovered us black Scottish people. I don't know what to say at the moment, but I'm going to slow down so you guys can get it down. It's a bit hot in Scotland. Please sit up, man. So, I'm Scottish, Irish and British. I was born in Scotland, grew up in Ireland. I went to school in England, so there are many beautiful people in Scotland there. The food is different. In Scotland, we use Scott toilet paper now. The Americans discovered us black Scottish.
So they must have felt like they've been unnoticed for a long time because, I mean, it's beautiful though. When you, hold on real quick, guy. When you really like get to when you really sum it all up, right? It's really actually a very beautiful time. I know in the world there is a lot of chaos. Of course, it's been like that for a while, especially going into 2025. It hasn't really been a break, right? With chaotic events and just so much in the headlines. But when you really look at it, there is a lot of beauty happening too. I would even say it's almost like flowers are blooming. People are discovering more about each other. And even though this is, common sense to a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that are going to look at it like, well, duh. It's like, yeah, we've heard that, let's say there's the Negritos in the Philip, and I don't know why my laptop just glitched, but okay, we're good. Yeah, we've heard about the Negritos in the Philippines. We've heard about, certain different people in areas we wouldn't expect, but to see them on TikTok, to hear their stories, to see them talk, yeah, I could see why that's viral and how that's just like I said, it's like a flower blooming. It's opening up people's mind because seeing is believing.
Yep, she knows. Let me show you. Here is me with my mother. We was visiting St. Petersburg on this picture. And there's a picture of me and my dad. Flick with the sister at the red square? Yeah. If you want to see more pictures, just tell me. Yep.
Okay, so she has a Russian mom. Wow, now we're seeing the beauty of the different mixtures around the world.
What's happening, Black Scottish TikTok? As someone that's been on and off with this content thing for a good while now, before it was cool, I've just been sitting back and watching this one unfold, and I've got to say, guys, yous are making me laugh. Yous are really making me laugh, some of yous. We've met and we've spoke, and you don't talk like that. Our cousins overseas don't know, but you and I know that you don't sound like that. The Americans, I don't even blame yous for not knowing that there's black Scottish people here, but people from London don't know there's black people in Scotland. So, and while you Americans are actually over on Scottish TikTok, give me a follow, because a lot of these guys, this is no shade, but a lot of these guys that you're following up, they don't post. I actually make content, so if you want to see some Scottish content, give me a follow and I'll give you exactly what you're looking for.
So I have posted that one TikTok in which I was using my sarcasm to answer some of the questions that the Americans had, and I did say I would do a part 2. So a lot of the questions in my comments were people asking, where do we actually go on a night out? And there aren't a lot of clubs in Glasgow. There's some in Edinburgh, and there's still a few in Glasgow, but just not a lot. I wouldn't say that the nightlife is big, me personally. I always go down to London, but I would say that Kong is my go-to when it comes to going clubbing, and it's like a bar that then turns into a club, so it's not a proper nightclub. There's still a few other ones, but I think just the younger people go in there. But I would say nightlife in Scotland, it's not like it's not nightlife in Scotland is not as big as, for example, London or Manchester or even Newcastle. Everyone wants to know about the dating scene in Glasgow or in Scotland. I'm from Glasgow, so I will speak about my experience. I don't know. I would say that's non-existent if I'm completely honest. So all the comments were also asking about what is dating like in Glasgow. I don't really date much in Glasgow anyways, or in Scotland. Don't get me wrong, there are like men out there. There's not much to choose from. A lot of them are white. There is still like, black men, but I feel as if that's from my personal experience, like me going out and finding a really, really good looking man is probably every once in a lifetime, honestly, probably every 3 months or something. But maybe that's down to my standards or me being picky and nothing to do with like Scotland. So
Okay, so she might have offended the Scotland people, the men out there, even though she, it seems like she tried not to, but everybody has their own taste. Someone in the comments said, I noticed all these black Scottish accents are different. So that must go back to what that guy was talking about. Or there's some people on here who are kind of like playing a part. Like, what's going on? This is a crazy trend right now. Like, it's everywhere.
Wait, 1 second. Wait 1 second. So you're telling me that you guys over in Americas had no idea that us Scottish people, yes, in fact, black Scottish people actually exist. Yes, we do exist, in fact. Let them know we exist. I don't know what is trending, but if you go and look at my other posts, and you'll see it's over 100 people commenting, talking about, oh, we found you, we see you, we did not know you existed. At first I thought I had been missing, yeah? But no, I was not missing. It's just the fact that you guys did not. It's like not y'all, but yo, what y'all think about my accent? Wait.
Really? She playing. She is playing. All right, we're being serious here, and she came on here playing around.
You see the difference in energy between the black Scottish people and the black English people? And I'm not going to use black Brits here because then the black English people are going to come up here, oh, you know where Scotland is on a map, right? Yeah, we fucking know. I've been there. I live there. How's it going? The difference is, one, the black Scottish people embrace joy. You see them, they're smiling. Their skin is glowing. One, it is the water, and two, it is the white people that they are near. And so as immigrants to these places, they've been acculturated in those spaces. And Scotland and England are two very different countries. The English people will try to tell you otherwise. That is false. Just being in those two places, even the north of England versus Scotland, completely different vibes. England is just depressing. Everyone is miserable, and they wish to export that misery onto others. Like, their biggest thing, I'd say, what defines Britain.
I have heard. I did a video. I'll probably put it at the end screen. Where someone in the UK was talking about like, well, not just the UK, but in England was talking about a gray spell. Well, I called it the gray spell, but pretty much everybody just becoming miserable and everything just not being the same. So I guess she's on point with that.
British culture, let me back it up. English culture in this very specific moment is tall poppy syndrome. So England as a whole is really bogged down by deeply entrenched classism. That's why they judge each other based off of what city they come from, or what accent they have, or where they come from, most importantly. And so they're really, really obsessed with tearing people down who they feel shouldn't be in that position. So you might see a footballer, so let's say a Wayne Rooney or Marcus Rashford in particular right now. You see how they level up, or I'll use an example more familiar to Americans. You see David Beckham, right? To us, he's great. He's always, he's the ambassador for England. He's a nice guy. He's out there hanging out with Prince William, doing doing some good stuff out there. But to him, because of his accent, he'll always be working class. And so, if he were to start acting above himself, they would feel the need to tear him down. So this is where I'm going to bring it back to Marcus Rashford, and I'm going to reintroduce the racist part of it. So, Marcus Rashford, also a footballer, also played for Manchester United. So, he, let's say he honestly, I'm going to say, he carried Manchester United on their back for years. Literally broke his back, had 2 floating bones in his ankle, did not complain. Carried that team. Only success came through him. Let's be real. But what happened during COVID was that he decided to speak up for the children. During lockdown, the kids weren't going to get free lunches. He said, hey, no, let's speak up for the people who are most at risk in our country, the children who can't speak for themselves. Let's give the children free lunches. Great times, right? No. The British public lost their minds. He became public enemy number 1. And this is after he had the nerve to miss a penalty. Actually, the penalty might have been after the fact, so this just doubled their animosity towards him. And so since then, they've been non-stop in the media trying to tear him down, tear him down, tear him down. Now, if this were a black American athlete, say like Shedeur Sanders, and they were saying, oh, look at him, he's so arrogant, this and that, blah, 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 we would hop on that train and be like, nah, you're not about to get this kid, nah. But what do black British people do, English people in particular? They hop on the hate train. Because they want proximity to whiteness so bad, they'll eat their own. They say he's arrogant. This is a humble, well-spoken, articulate young man who clearly has a good heart. But they ran him out of the country. And they lambasted his character. They
I'm not sure about this situation, but damn, it sounds really messed up.
dragged him through the mud. We see it time and time again in their media. Like, I watch a lot of their, soccer-based media. One, those people are idiots. If you want to see their education level, go watch their football content. The biggest dummies you'll see of all time. And then, what do? They're constantly ragging on each other in just, kind of classist ways, being like, oh, you don't have this, you don't have that, oh, well, he was wearing this, he was wearing that. They're obsessed with taking people down a peg. Obsessed with taking people down a peg. So, the diaspora wars are their chance to do that to us. Because they know that when we go to their countries, we are treated better than them because we are American. So that's why to them, we are American first before we're black. Which to us is weird. That's a weird thing that we're not used to and we don't really accept. But we're like, okay, like, in your country, this is how it is. But, like, we would still stick up for people who are being discriminated against in that country, which I don't think they get for some reason. Because, well, they don't do that when they come here. And they come from hierarchical societies where they're used to suppressing or oppressing other people below them, different tribes, etc., blah, blah, blah. They love a good caste system. But they like to recreate that in the UK. And they don't understand a few things about us, and that not wanting proximity to whiteness is one of them. They don't understand how we've gotten the success we have by rejecting that. By isolating ourselves from, or not even by isolating ourselves from the white community. We've been isolated by de facto systems. But they don't see why we bind ourselves by being black, because race is just an American thing, even though they're in the mothership of the racism in England. Who do you think they learned it from? It's really, really, really funny. And I could go on and on and on about this. But long story short, before I start rambling even more, black English people are just miserable, miserable assholes. And they're just like that because the white English people are miserable, miserable assholes. And I want to say this, and I want to say this clearly. The rest of the British Isles does not like England. And it's because they're miserable assholes. And so
I can honestly say I have never reacted to someone get on YouTube that has confessed their truth from how they see things to this extent at all. Like, she unapologetic with it. Like, she's just like, listen, this is what I see. She's even saying pretty much this what she knows. She said she's lived in Scotland, and so I mean, hey, everybody has their truths.
actually what I started with, the black Scottish people are happier, nicer, and friendlier because they're Scottish. Scottish people, by and large, since like I said, I was over there for a while, are just very nice. They're unpretentious. They don't do that weird trying to take you down a peg thing. They're genuine, and they're funny. These are things that don't happen in England. they have some funny folks, whatever, but a lot of their humor is also tied to classism because they're weirdos. And so, yeah, I think that's really just it. It's a mentality thing that's down to the general culture of the country that they're in. And I could expand that to, different countries, blah, 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 but I've rambled on far too long. But long story short, we need to start going in on Black English people for being miserable. You see the difference in energy?
She did not hold back. Someone said, your example of David Beckham makes so much sense. There's a video of him where his wife is getting interviewed and she's trying to say that she was working class, and he pops his head in and tells her to tell the truth, that she was wealthy and went to school in a Rolls Royce. Okay. Now, I will admit, as far as shout out to England, shout out to everybody, but I have been bashed a lot from saying wrong things, or people feel like I was being too serious. I have been judged and criticized a lot. When it comes to Scotland, man, I have a Scottish someone who's a Scottish member on my channel. I mean, it's a certain type of genuineness that I will, and I have no reason to lie. There's a certain genuineness that I felt that comes from that area. Even if you see a lot of videos I did, Scottish music, I'll say it just feels like there's something magical over there. I've gotten love in England too, a lot of love too, but I've definitely been, you don't want to make the wrong video. I'll put it like that. You don't want to react to their comedy or anything like that and not understand what's going on, because they will rag you. They will take you to the pits of hell. Let me go ahead and just end this video. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. There's a lot going on in the world. A lot of people discovering a lot. A lot of people are, and once again, we've heard stories of all types of people over here. And it's just like when Sinners came out, and you had the Asians in Delta, Mississippi, and that, I mean, it just sparked so much conversation. Because, yeah, people may have heard things, but once again, when you see it, seeing is believing. When you see it, whether on a screen or, of a cinema, or if you see it on TikTok and it starts to trend and you see people who are different and you're like, whoa, it almost breaks you out of the box that you were used to. In America, we definitely are in a box where for the most part, a lot of us, all we know is what we've been taught, aka indoctrinated, into believing. The distractions, the black, white, this, that, Republican, Democrat, like all the, regular American stuff. But, for those that do travel, for those that have the privilege to travel and see other things, it's awesome that they can report that back when things do go viral, like that one woman in that video who talked about how she stayed in Scotland for some time, and she was able to give her perspective based on her personal experience, not just what, I won't say just what she felt, but what she actually experienced. That's cool. That's cool. We got people who, like they travel, they've been to these places. And once again, pretty much everybody from Scotland that I can remember on my channel that has commented, that has, reached out in some type of way, have been very kind, just sincere type of natured type of people. And I really appreciate Scotland for that. So with that being said, I'll be back with more soon. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Much love.